Alright, this project is going to be a step-by-step video about how to replace a golf ball. And what we're going to learn in this video is how to take another object and replace it into an image and make that image look completely out of place, such as a golf ball being hit by a golf club. Well, what could we put there to make it look completely out of place? Alright, so that's what we're going to do, and we're going to try to make it look as natural as possible. So the first thing we're going to do is open up our images. So I'm going to open up my golf ball image, and you can see here that I have a golf club and a golf ball, and I've got layer 1, background layer, and I'm going to need my second image. So let's go ahead and open the second image, and the first one that we're going to do is a baseball. So I'm going to make sure I have my baseball image ready to go here, and I've got layer 1 and the background image, and so I'm just going to take this image, drag it and drop it over here, and as you can see, it completely covers the other image, so I'm going to have to resize this. So how am I going to be able to see the proper size for the shape that I need underneath it, or on this layer here to cover this baseball? This one's much too large. So I'm going to take this layer with the baseball and make it much more see-through. I'm going to take the opacity out of it, and now you can clearly see the golf ball behind the other image, but I need to be able to see both images, and there we go. So now I can see the golf ball behind and the baseball out in front. And so let's go ahead and try to get this as close as possible. And I'm probably going to make the baseball just a little bit larger than the golf ball. Okay, and so now there we go. We're all set. So now I'm going to bring my opacity back up for this image because I can't have this white area around the baseball. I've got to get rid of it so that I can just see the grass area behind my image here, okay? So I'm going to use my magnetic lasso. Make sure also that your layers, that you're working with the correct layer. If I was selected on layer number 1, then I wouldn't be able to lasso that layer, okay? Now I've resized this image, and when I resize something I must apply that. So I have to go to my save and apply, and now I can now work on something else in this. So if I wanted to select layer 1 and lasso this, I wouldn't be able to because I'm on the wrong layer. So make sure you're on the correct layer and that you have the eyeballs turned on correctly for the layer that you're working on. Alright, we're going to use the magnetic lasso. Normally our default lasso is this one right here, just the normal lasso. So we're going to click and hold and get our magnetic lasso. And before I start lassoing, I want to make sure that my pixel feather is set properly here. So I'm going to set this at 2 pixels, and now I'm going to take my lasso, and I might even zoom in here just so I can get a really good look of this as I lasso. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and lasso around the baseball. And when I do this, I'm just going to click right on the very edge, and notice it already started to snap in the wrong place. And I'm going to just hit my delete button on my keyboard and back up and fix that. And the reason why I did that is it wants to jump out there because these pixels, these green pixels, are so different from the white pixels and the gray pixels that it wants to snap out there. So you're just going to have to drag slowly and move around this baseball nice and slow and take your time. And if it jumps to the wrong pixels or the wrong color, that's fine. There it goes. It just jumped there. And so what I may have to do is back up and reset my pixels, and once in a while I just move and click on my own, and that way I don't have this problem of the ball jumping around. And if it does, that's fine too. We can move around the baseball, let it select those pixels, and then we can erase them out later. And then in fact that's what I'll do, is I'll erase those out on my own. And I got a bunch of jumpiness there also. And so I'm just going to reset my pixels here and try to get the best quality I can around the outer edge of this baseball here. And I am having a difficult time here. And that's usually the case with this. That's why we're taking our time here with this baseball, going in small increments and working our way around the baseball. Now if you get to the problem that I'm having here, you can always reset the frequency and change your pixel frequency so that you don't have the baseball jumping around on you, these snapping around it. And if that's the case, we'll simply erase later. And I did get it to jump around a little too much there. But simply select and then we'll move forward. And that's why we're using this baseball, because it's going to teach you how to back up and how to reselect when you need to. And that's a good thing, because you're going to come into a picture that is difficult to do. In most cases, the pictures that you select will be more difficult. And let's back up here. There we go. And if it does jump out there to that outer edge, that's fine. We're going to erase a little bit. And that's also why we feather. Okay, now I'm going to make a copy of this layer. And so I'm going to take this, make a new layer via copy. And there you go. I've just copied that image. And yes, I do have some areas that need to be cleaned up a little bit. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. And we're going to clean this up. And I'm going to take a nice fuzzy eraser. Just take my normal eraser, make sure it's got a nice fuzzy edge on it, and we'll see how it looks here when I erase. And I'm just going to take my time here. Not going to do anything extraordinary. Just going to come in and touch up that little corner. And there we go. And notice I've got a little bit over here. And I can always come back and touch these up if I need to later. And that's the whole purpose of the lasso tool, is getting it to do a lot of this work for you fast. That way you don't have to do this to the whole baseball. Imagine if you had to erase every single little detail part of this baseball all the way around the outer edge. You would definitely spend a lot more time than you need to around the outside edge of this baseball. Alright, and now I'm going to come around to the top here and finish this off. And I'm going a little faster than I normally would. I normally would take a little more time with this. You're going to take more time with this. Make sure you get it right. And let's just make sure I don't have anything on the other side. And I do. And that's why I'm using a fuzzy brush. That way I don't get a real sharp edge and accidentally take off some of the edge of the baseball by accident. And then if I miss to the inside just a little bit, you're not going to notice it as much either. Okay? And that looks fairly good. Alright, so now I'm going to zoom out, and if you need to zoom out, you can go to the view and zoom out. You can also hold down the command key and the minus key and zoom out. And there you go, we've replaced that image, and it looks pretty nice, not too bad, okay? Now we're going to do a second one, and when we do the second one, we're going to have to lasso and to see around a face or a head, and that's going to be in the second lesson. So you want to go to the part 2 so that you can see how I am going to lasso George Bush's face, or just a completely different type of object, okay? Hope this lesson was helpful. If you have any problems or issues, you can always email me, or you can come see me in class. And like I said, you can get a really nice effect, and you'll be able to turn this around in no time. It's really not that difficult. Really not that difficult of a project. Good luck, and let me know how you fare in this.